There we go. So just as we often do, let's just get ourselves grounded first. So think about your hips making contact with the floor. Hands can rest on top of the thighs. Crown of the head is lifted, and close the eyes down. Start taking the breath in all the way down to the belly. Feel it pull away from the spine and pause. And then trace the breath back in, up the body and out the nose. Couple rounds of that. Bring the breath to the belly. We're going to do a grounding activity. So as you're sitting here, thinking about your spine, your vertebrae that go all the way down to your tailbone, just think about if that vertebrae extended out from you and goes to the earth. So think of yourself, we're going to imagine ourselves being tethered to the earth. So think of extending from your tailbone down, going through the floors of your home and the basement of your home, all the way down to the earth, and continuing to just go down to the center. Kind of like you see in those old Western movies of the horses being, secured to the corral with their rope. Just imagine ourselves, once you get down to the center, to wrap around and to just be secured and tethered, grounded. And coming back up to your body and just imagining this bubble of sorts around you. Even if you put your arms out into a T, and if you were to twist to one side gently, and then twist back to the other, that's your aura and that's your bubble. Your arms can float down. Just imagine that you're in this protective space. Arms width around you, above you, below you. That's your energy. And that's the love that you send out, the peace that you send out. Protected from everything else around you, but within you, that's what you create. So let's invite in Aham Prima. I am love. Bring your hands into heart center. Let's clasp our fingers and push our palms forward. Inhale our arms up overhead, looking up at the ceiling. And exhale, rounding the back, pushing the palms forward. So seated cat-cow, inhale up. And exhale through. And this time, inhale up to the right, arms float down. Gaze over the back shoulder. Flip the palm up and scoop it up and across and over the body. Nice side body stretch. And exhale, release that down. Hands on either side, inhale, scoop up. To the left, arms float, gaze over the back. Flip the palm, sweep up and across. And we'll float that down. Hands on either side. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, forward fold onto the fingertips. Let the head be heavy. Keep the sits bones rooted. Gently walk forward and release the lower back. Walking over to the right. Stretching from the left hip through the armpit to the left pinky. Back to center. Over to the left, grounded with the right hip. through the armpit to the right pinky. Coming back to center. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Spine is tall, arms on either side as we take our right ear to the right shoulder, left fingertips on the mat, and right hand comes up for some resistance, opening up the neck, bringing chin in towards the shoulder. Breathing, coming back to center. Left ear to left shoulder, right fingertips out, left hand for resistance. Finding your breath all the way down to your belly. And slowly rotate the chin in towards the shoulder. And then let's come back up to center. And we'll go into all fours. So find your comfortable space. Pad your knees if you need to. Let's find our way into some cat-cows. Inhaling through. Exhale round. Couple rounds. You can exhale through your mouth when you round your back. And then come back to stillness, dropping the hips to the right, gaze over the left shoulder. Back to center, drop left, gaze right. So find your way back and forth. Linger if it feels good on one side. And you can keep doing that or come into hip circles where you trace your hips to all four corners of your mat. Start moving this morning in a way that feels nurturing to you. And then reverse if you're making circles, or even it out if you're going back and forth. And then come back and find some stillness. Planting our right hand underneath our heart, sweep the left arm up, rotating the wrist in one direction and then the other. Lengthen that out and then exhale it through. Threading the needle, left shoulder down. Right hand can stay in the kickstand or you can take a bind. And let's just breathe and soften and open our left shoulder. And then we'll push into our hand, coming back up, lengthening the left arm as we bring it down underneath our heart. And this time sweeping up the right, rotating that in one direction with the wrist, and then the other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, thread it through. Right shoulder down to the mat, left hand in a kickstand or a bind. Finding breath. One more breath. Come out of the bind as you place your left hand up into the ground, push into it, raise the right arm back up, and take it down to your mat. Going into our side plank, so we'll take our right foot back, first onto the ball of the foot, pushing through to stretch out our calf. And then we're going to come onto the edge of the right foot, grounding in our left hand. Right hand can be on the hip if you like that, or you can raise those fingertips up. If you're feeling balanced today, you can lift the right leg even with the hip, flexing the right toes. And breathe. Lowering that leg down, right hand down, right knee back. Opposite side, left foot goes back. Let's stretch through first. Let the calf get a stretch this morning. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to rotate onto the side of that foot. As we set it up on the other side, hand can come to the hip, fingers extend to the ceiling, and then lifting the leg, flexing the left foot. Open-hearted, breathing into this side plank. Slowly lower that back down, coming back down into all fours. Taking the right leg long behind us, toes pointing down, hips are square with your mat as your left hand comes out. Thumb to the ceiling, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, in. Let's do 3 more. And we'll bring that one all the way forward. Sweeping our arms up above our head. Exhale, open to cactus. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to our T. Float the left arm or right arm down and back up. And then let's float all the way down on the inside of our right leg, heel toeing that foot to the edge. Bowing your head right here might feel like a beautiful runner's lunge. And if so, just stay right here. If you'd like to lengthen, curl the left toes under and bring that leg back a few inches. And then maybe it's in your practice to come down to elbows. Lots of versions here. Listen to what feels good for you. Bow your head and let's just breathe into the right hip. If you're feeling like you'd like to just gently come onto the edge of that foot so the right knee comes out to the side and that deeper stretch in your psoas feels good, then breathe into that. If not, back out. Let's take 2 slow breaths here. Coming back onto a flat foot, back up to your hands. Right hand on the outside as we heel toe back to center. And then let's just slowly use our hands to walk ourselves back, straightening the front leg. Pointing and flexing. Waking up the hamstring in the IT band. Right hand on the inside, coming back down to all fours. And then we'll take our left leg long behind us, toes pointing down. And this time, right hand extends out with the thumb up. Inhale here, exhale in. Again. And 3 more. Last one. Taking that left leg forward, planting our right hand down, sweeping the left arm up. Coming back down, sweeping both arms up overhead. Exhale, open to cactus. Inhale, lengthen arms above. Exhale, open to a T. Left arm floats down and back up. Both arms float on the inside of the left foot. Heel toe over to the side of the mat and set yourself up on runner's lunge. This side, the same way, or maybe it feels different with each hip. Bowing the head and breathing. Finding stillness here or coming onto the edge of the left foot and opening out to the side. Yogi's choice. 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, begin to come back to a flat foot. We're going to heel toe back to center. Hands are on either side so that we can slowly use our hands, walk ourselves back, and lengthen the front leg. Point and flex. All right, and as you're ready, let's bring that leg back to the mat. Knees come wide on our mat. Our big toes are going to touch, coming down into child's pose. Extending the arms long, letting the forehead come down to the mat. Reaching the fingertips forward so the palms are nice and active. Feel how that activates your arms as well. taking the breath down to your stomach. One more nice long breath here. Aham Prima. And then as you're ready, we'll begin to lift our hips, coming up into our downward facing dog. And when you're here, pedaling out the dog, and then come up onto your tippy toes, slowly begin to lower your heels down towards your mat, feeling your belly reaching towards your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Let's roll forward into our plank. And exhale, let's push back to down dog. So 2 more of those with breath. And up. Slide forward. And back. Walking your feet to the top of your mat, meeting in a standing forward fold. Micro bend in your knees if you need to protect your hamstrings. Really let your head be heavy, shaking it yes and no. Maybe even taking your legs or your arms on the backs of your legs. Massage out hamstring, any tight muscles that you have. Just give maybe the backs of your calves, get a little massage. And then as you're ready, bend your knees, hands on either side. We're going to do a reverse swan dive. Nice and slow, back bend. Fingertips to touch, hands come down to the heart. And as we're standing here at the top of the mat, let's just feel grounded in all 4 corners of your feet, lifting up your toes. Feel the 4 corners. Slowly set down your toes, pinkies, 4th toes, 3rd toes, 2nd toes, down to the big toe. Feeling rooted and grounded in this mountain pose. And preparing to go into some rounds of moon salutation, given that we've had this beautiful full moon going on. So as you feel grounded, inhale the closed palms up overhead. And exhale through heart center to a forward fold. Lowering your hips, come down to a squat. Hands at the heart if you can, pause here. Dropping the hands down, step the left knee back, arms overhead. Sweep the arms down and back up. Right knee comes to meet. Slight back bend, inhale. Exhale, float down to child's pose. On an inhale, come through onto your belly, pushing the tops of your feet into the mat, hands on either side of your chest as you inhale up to cobra. Curl your toes, push yourself back to child's pose. Inhale, up on the knees, arms overhead. Left leg comes forward, arms sweep down and back up. Right foot steps forward into your squat. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, forward fold. Hands come up through heart center, slight back bend. Hands back to the heart. 1 round of our moon salutation. And let's do that again on the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold through the heart, forward fold. Lowering the hips, coming down into your squat. Pausing here. Hands on either side, step the right knee back, arms overhead. Sweep arms down, back up, and left knee joins on the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, float yourself down to child's pose. Inhale through to low cobra. Exhale, curl your toes, push back to child's pose. Inhale up on the knees, both hands overhead. Right knee steps forward. Float down, arms down and back up. Curl the left toes, step forward, back down to our squat. Pause here. And then lifting the hips to a forward fold. Hands come up through the center, slight back bend. Hands back to the heart. Let the hands come down on either side. Roll the shoulders back and down. Rotate pinkies forward. Crown of the head is lifted. Eyes are closed. Mountain pose. Take a nice, long, slow breath here. Let's just feel the effects of our practice so far. Feel rooted and feel grounded. Aham Prima, I am love. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's begin lowering our hips all the way down. And we're going to make our way down onto the mat. Going into boat pose first. So on your hips, just slightly leaning back, you can take your hands, if you like, behind your knees as we lift both of our feet up so that our calves are parallel on our mat. And you're just slightly a little bit back so you're grounded and rooted. Let your hands come out on either side with your palms facing up. So engaging your core, breathing here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock forward, set our feet down, and take a breath. And the next one that we do, we'll do that one more time, and we'll extend out our legs. So as we rock back, bring the legs back up, hands on either side, engaging your core, and let's extend our legs out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees in towards the chest and sit yourself forward. Nice. And now let's just extend ourselves all the way down onto our mat. Lift up your hips and pick them up. Take them over a little bit to the right. Let the left leg extend. Bent right knee comes across the body. Right arm can be out in a T. Gaze over those right fingertips. Enjoying a supine twist. And then let's come back through center, centering our hips. And now they come over to the left, extending the right leg. Bent left knee across the body. Left arm in a T as you gaze over those fingertips, keeping the left shoulder rooted while we take the legs over to the right. One more slow breath. Let's unwind. Coming back to center, center the hips. Coming into happy baby. So soles of the feet are coming up to the ceiling with your flat back. If you're feeling stiff today, you can just hold on behind your knees. If you're feeling like you've got some flexibility, you can hold on to your calves, or maybe it's in your practice to get all the way to the soles of the feet. Opening the hips wide. Can rock from side to side if you like. So find your version of happy baby. And breathe. And then we'll bring the knees back in towards the chest for a tight squeeze. Extending your legs long and finding your Shavasana. Hands on either side. Our palms are facing up. Releasing any tension in your jaw. Opening your mouth and closing your mouth. Coming down and releasing tension in your shoulders, your sternum. Let the muscles on your arms relax to your elbows, wrists, palms, and fingertips. Soften your chest, your ribs, your hips. Let the muscles in your thighs relax, the backs of your knees, your calves, ankles, soles of the feet, and toes. Take a nice, long, slow, full body breath. Coming back to our mantra of Aham Prima. Aham Prima. I am love. Love is the essence of the true self. If you can act from a space of love, you bypass the judgments and burdens of the ego. So expressing compassion, forgiveness, kindness, and a sense of purpose comes easily. Aham Prima. I am love. And just let that mantra wash over you. Gently begin to dust the tips of your fingers with your thumbs and wiggle your toes. Inhale your arms up over your head and reach and stretch with one and then the other. Rolling over onto one side. And then slowly making your way back up to your seated position. And we'll close practice as we do with a cleansing breath and an Om and 3 Shantis. So cleansing breath first, inhale through the nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhale to chant. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we all have peace in our hearts, peace in our words, peace in our thoughts. The light in me honors the light in you. Thanks for coming today. Namaste.